Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video, and today we are back with the 3.0 Xbow Cycle top ladder push. Last time on my road to 8,000 trophies, I was able to reach 7,934 trophies, putting me at top 1,000 in the world. Right now we are at 7,924 trophies, which is just a bit under. I did play a bit after that, and I won a bit, lost a bit, but I'm back around the same range now. So today we are going to be playing some games. We are about 3 wins away from 8,000 trophies, so hopefully we can get some nice games today. And let's look for the first match of the video. So I am getting closer to top ladder now, should be able to recognize opponents easier and kind of know what decks they're playing, which is definitely going to be a huge advantage as we find the first match against Chris the God. And just as I was saying, I do know what this person has. He's going to be playing a Bowler Skeleton King Graveyard with Goblin Hut. And it's his own deck, his own unique deck. I think he's the only person who plays it at top ladder right now. And I believe it also has arrows. So I'm just going to be cycling normal cards to start out. Looks like he's going to leak. And he plays a Goblin Hut, so I'm going to go for an Xbow. That hut is a bit weird because it's not going to be high enough to take the Xbow's targeting. He goes for Skarmy, a Skeleton King. Definitely going to have to let this Xbow die, because if I overcommit to it, he can just pop the ability, and my Knight will die. As you can see, he pops the ability here, and I let the Xbow die, and I'm still getting kind of swarmed, so I'm going to go for Skeletons too, to kite this mini Skarmy, and I think it's still going to get a bunch of damage on my tower. It's going to go for a log as well, and I'm just going to let the Goblin and Hut Goblins deal damage to my tower. It's not going to be the end of the world, so I'm going to be okay with that. Taking that damage there, going to be just about 1,000. He cycles a Witch in the back, so I'm going to go for an X opposite right away. And actually go for a Tesla. This is going to be pretty aggressive. Bowler comes down. As I mentioned, this deck does have Bowler, and I do have E-Spirit and Cycle for the bats, so going to be a perfect E-Spirit. And Expo is going to help out against the Witch as well, which is going to be really great. Going to go for Skeletons to predict maybe some kind of play. He goes for a Skeleton King. Going to go for a Knight, just away from my Xbow, just barely. Also enough so that the Skeleton King crosses the bridge. He pops the ability, so I'm actually going to let this Xbow go, not waste my log. I'll get some nice damage, and I can actually go for another Xbow, because he goes for Skarmy as well. Yeah, so that's the 3 elixir investment. I'm actually not going to even log this. I'm just going to let it do some damage to my tower, since I did take a bunch in the right. I can afford to, and I know he's going to be extremely low on elixir, like 2 or 3 elixir right now. As you can see, he doesn't have enough. He's actually just going to go for a Graveyard, and that was a misclick. I actually meant to go for Archers, but I guess Tesla does okay. Gonna go E-Spirit, and unfortunately E-Spirit dies. Wow, so gonna go Skeletons too. Maybe I should have logged, and maybe I should have played my E-Spirit a bit further away, so it didn't get taken out before it chained, but that we are going to take the entire tower. So this matchup, I'm going to cycle a log, and probably just defensive Expo now. Going to be, seems like a hard matchup, because he has Bowler, he has Skelly King, pretty sure he has arrows too, though I don't think he's revealed it. Goes for Skeleton King in the back. Actually going to be pretty good synergy as well with the Goblin Hut, so interesting deck. Going to pre-cycle my Archers now. Again, like I mentioned, I'm pretty sure he does have arrows in this deck. So I'm going to pre-cycle my Archers so I can get back to a second pair. He actually goes for a Graveyard in the left, so I'm going to go Knight and then wait a bit, then log. Expo's helping out. Going to go for Archers now in the right. As you can see, he pops the Skeleton King ability, so Archers help out. Plus, he just used arrows, so that's exactly the idea I was talking about. Cycling multiple sets of Archers against arrows decks, and we are going to defend just fine. You know, we took some damage in both lanes, but that was okay. And also, I didn't fireball his first Goblin Hut, I just went for a defensive Expo, because I didn't need to take the tower damage. I just need to defend, so I was able to punish him in single elixir. Pretty interesting deck, but actually decent matchup for Expo if you just play aggressive. That's going to be really nice, plus 32 trophies, and also put us at 7,956 trophies, just under top 1,000. Alright, so let's just look right for the next match, and we actually find it instantly against Adrian M, and he's going to be at 7,998 trophies, which means he's going to be 2 off 8k. And we do see Fire Spirit, so if he beats us, he's going to get 8,000 trophies, Ultimate Champion. And Fire Spirit means either going to be Goblin Drill or Royal Hogs Earthquake. Royal Hogs do come down, and wow, my Tesla is nowhere to be seen. Actually going to be really far out of my cycle, so unfortunately don't get to go for Tesla for that. But now I can go for an Expo, counter-pushing with the Archers. Going to go in the right lane, since my left side is weaker, so don't want to be going same lane ever. That's a huge tip against a lot of these matchups, and yeah, Earthquake comes down. I'm just going to do insane work against my Expo, and it's going to be really unfortunate, because you can see why the matchup's so hard. This is going to be one of Expo's hardest matchups in the entire game, because Earthquake just does so well against Expo. Expo's HP isn't great, and they have such a fast cycle as well, so is going to be really hard to keep up with damage, especially because Earthquake does more than Fireball and somehow costs less. It's just, yeah, it's really hard. So you want to go for Xbows when they cycle Archer Queen. Unfortunately, they don't have it right away in cycle. Going to go for an Xbow now, though, and Archer Queen is going to be there. Going to Fireball these Royal Hogs as Cannon also comes down. Going to try and log the Archer Queen, though I'm going to be a bit late. So he pops the ability, logging it back, and I still take a bunch of damage. Going to go E-Spirit to predict maybe a Fire Spirit, and Earthquake is going to come down late. So interesting trade. Maybe it wasn't the best idea to trade damage like that, but it does technically simplify the game. I do get a decent connection, which means if I get another one, I could maybe walk away with this, but it's going to be a super hard matchup again, like the hardest one possibly. So Fire Spirit comes down, and I do want to keep up Xbow pressure, actually, especially because he just used Royal Hogs. So going to go for an Xbow, and let's see what he plays. I do have Fireball ready if he goes for Xbow. Royal Hogs right on the Xbow. Going to go for a High Tesla, and Cannon comes down. So this Xbow's definitely dead. Just going to go for a log to get some chip damage too. And so one key in this matchup is definitely going to be the Xbow pressure at the right time. The ideal time is going to be when they cycle an Archer Queen. I saw Batfist playing, and that's what he did. So I basically learned from that. As he cycles an Archer Queen right now, it's going to do exactly what I said. Go for an Xbow. And so they're just going to be down 5 Elixir. And looks like my opponent's kind of panicking because he's kind of cycling his Royal Hogs in a weird spot. Going to log this Cannon. Go for Skeletons to make sure the Royal Hog doesn't get too much damage on my tower. Going to go E-Spirit as well. And unfortunately, I do take one Archer Queen hit. He goes for Royal Hogs immediately, just going to go for Tesla. Another key in this matchup is going to be this anti-Earthquake Tesla placement, which you see right here. It's going to be very important so they can't get Earthquake value on your Tesla. And Tower, going to go Expo Knight. Knight also helps me cycle back to my Skeletons for the Fire Spirit. And going to go Archers to try and DPS down this Archer Queen as soon as possible. He goes for a low cannon, going to go log E-Spirit as well to predict the Fire Spirit as we get it down. And oh my god, Fire Spirit doesn't connect to the Expo, so Earthquake comes down. He's going to be pretty low in Elixir, plus Earthquake not in cycle. So going to go for an Expo, plus I have Fireball, ready for his Royal Hogs. Going to go Skeletons to predict either a Cannon or a Fire Spirit again. Cannon comes down, going to log it immediately. E-Spirit again to predict, and Fire Spirit comes down, but oh my god, it doesn't connect to the Expo. Expo's on tower, and that's going to be below 700 HP, so I think that's going to be 2 Fireballs. Going to go Anti-Earthquake Tesla again, and Archers to DPS it down. And so I don't think I need to go for an Expo here. I'm just going to cycle multiple spells. I believe that is going to be 2 Fireballs and a log. So yeah, my opponent predicts my Expo, but I can just go for a Fireball log. He's going for Earthquake. I just need to make sure I don't lose my tower, and I will win the game. I'm going to go for a low Tesla because I don't need to worry about Earthquake. I can just go for it to prevent the Hogs. Cycle back to a Fireball. That's going to be a win against Royal Hogs Earthquake, one of the hardest matchups in the entire game. Wow. Alright, so let's look for the next match, and now queue time is kind of starting to catch up to me because I'm getting higher on ladder, and I guess it makes sense because as you go higher, there are going to be less players, and so it's going to be harder to find a match, but it is still kind of annoying because I'm trying to just focus and concentrate, play some nice games, but then with a lot of wait time in between, it can be kind of distracting. You start thinking about other things. We do finally find a match, though, against Joe Loves No Skill from Shuriken. Don't actually know what he's going to be playing. He's going to be at 8,006 trophies, so trophies are getting higher. People are at Ultimate Champion now. He's going to give the Goblin laughing emote, so maybe he knows I have Expo and doesn't like it, or he just laughs at everyone he plays against. Gonna cycle Bats, so I'll just split Archers. He gives the good luck. And this doesn't tell me too much about what he has. Just gonna cycle a log as well. Safe place to start out. And yeah, Bats could really be a bunch of things. You know, it could be Lava Clone, could be Mortar Bait with Bats, could be Minor Wall Breakers with Bats, could be Giant Graveyard. Just a lot of things, and he is leaking, so maybe it could be a heavier deck. I also actually don't want to play anything because I'm getting higher on ladder. I need to start playing really safely and not risk anything, and it seems weird to say because, you know, Knight's only 3 Elixir, but actually this is kind of the awkward Expo hand where anything you cycle could mess you up if against the wrong matchup, and again, I don't know what he has. So he's going to cycle a Zap, and then Scar me, so going to just go for a Knight up high. I think that's the best play out of everything I have. And Scar me, Zap, Bats. So this wouldn't be Lava Clone, because Lava Clone doesn't run Zap. Wouldn't be Giant Graveyard either, because Giant Graveyard also runs Snowball instead of Zap. Gonna go for an E-Spirit to pressure a little bit. And yeah, I'm trying to think about what this could be. Actually, one deck that comes to mind that I haven't seen in a long time is going to be Giant Sparky, which is like a bait version. Going to cycle Skeletons, but I don't really want to split Archers because, like, if it is going to be Giant Sparky, which is very much a possibility now, because I do know that deck runs Zap, Arrows, and then Bat Skarmy is kind of a bait version also, I think, with Minion Horde. Yeah, so I don't really want to expo right away. I will wait till double at least, where it's safer. Gives good luck. He goes for Sparky in the back, so it is going to be Giant Sparky. Pretty much guarantees it. Going to go for an Expo opposite lane, and he is forced to play Giant. So just going to let this Expo die. Go for a Tesla in the middle, and this placement, notice how my inner Expo allows me to pull the Giant over enough so the Tesla hits it. And now against Sparky's, he goes for Bats as well. They go in front though, so kind of a misplay. You want to push the Sparky into your Tesla. This is something I learned from Crafter, if you guys remember who Crafter is. Just push the Sparky into your Tesla with whatever you play, whether it's Knight, Skeletons, E-Spirit. I can go for an Expo because he just cycled his, I did outcycle his Giant, and he did waste arrows as well. He goes for a low Sparky, and this is where the situation gets kind of tense. Because this situation I hate against Sparky, where I usually lose. When I go for an Expo and they ignore it, go for a Sparky in the back, and play a big Giant push. Gonna cycle E-Spirit, go Archers in the same lane. I think I do have to get Fireball value here. Gonna go Knight and then Log on the Skarmy. Arrows comes down. He actually misses one Archer. Gonna go Skeletons to stall the mini P.E.K.K.A. out, and I think I don't need to cycle anything else for the Sparky. So actually gonna be a really nice connection. His tower is all the way down to 810. He cycles Sparky in the back, so not sure why he did that. Since it gives me a free Expo opposite lane, he's going to be forced to Giant again, yeah. And I can just go for the same sequence with the Tesla, although this time it is double Elixir, so I can commit more. E-Spirit for the Bats, go for a late Log as well, you know, kind of a surprise factor. And Skarmy comes down, Expo is on the Sparky though. I don't think I actually need to do anything for this Sparky. I can let it take out the Tesla, and then go for Archers afterwards. And I think I would get more value that way. And I'm going to go for an Expo opposite lane. I don't know why he's cycling Sparky's opposite. He goes for a Giant opposite as well, so not getting too much value against the Expo. He is going to have to commit something else, like maybe a mini P.E.K.K.A. Goes for Skarmy. Going to E-Spirit the Skarmy and then Fireball because I have to take out the Bats. Go for Skeletons as well, and then Knight. And I had to go for E-Spirit on the Skarmy because I did not have Login Cycle at the time. And he goes for a Sparky when I'm at about 5 Elixirs, so I'm going to be down maybe 5 or so after that exchange, which is not ideal. But I'm going to defend now. Defensive Expo does hit the Sparky, so he's going to be forced to zap. And this is the defensive Expo and Tesla setup you want to go for in this matchup. Sometimes I think it's not that great in single Elixir, but it's what I learned from Ian a while ago. So Sparky's going to be at 1 HP. I don't think I need to commit to it anymore. Expo will take care of it, and his tower is very low. I can actually start spell cycling, especially because he goes for a Giant. Thinking I'm going to Expo, but I know my spell values, and that's pretty much going to be GG, so gonna cycle back to another Fireball. It's going to be a really nice game, actually. I would say pretty much a perfect game against Giant Sparky. This matchup's usually hit or miss for me, but really happy I was able to win that. And that's going to put me at 7,993 trophies, which is just going to be 7 off 8k, the elusive 8k. But yeah, that matchup is going to be pretty hard, I would say. Well, actually, it's going to be pretty easy, but it's going to be hard to play right. Because usually for me, it's hit or miss, where I either, you know, counter it perfectly and defend well and don't mess up against Sparky. But it is a matchup where if you mess up even once, you can take a full Sparky hit to the tower, and you can just be in a losing position for the rest of the game. So, really difficult matchup to play perfectly, but I think it is going to be Xbow's matchup at the end of the day. But yeah, that's going to be, I think, the end of the video, guys. I could go for one more, but I don't know. I'm feeling pretty tense right now after playing so much and a bit stressed, and I definitely don't want to tilt down like 150 trophies and have to go through all of this again. So I am going to probably end it there. I know it's kind of anticlimactic to end when I'm 1 win away from 8k, but I think it's important. I think taking breaks in this game in general, when you're trying to push seriously, is important to just, you know, reset your mindset, reset your approach to the game and your mentality, and it'll help you play better overall. So I think that's going to be what works best for me here. I do apologize that it's a bit anticlimactic to end it there though, but yeah, that's going to be the video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. I think I had some really nice games today. You know, I beat Royal Hogs Earthquake Cycle, which is arguably the hardest matchup for Xbow in the entire game, so really proud of that. Yeah, I hope I was able to help you guys as well with the advice and tips. And yeah, so that's going to be the video, guys. Hope you have a nice day. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.